Welcome to the Transitions Daily podcast. Transitions Daily is an online recovery group that offers a daily distribution of popular recovery resources accompanied by a secret Facebook group for discussion. We hope you enjoy today's readings.
This is Transitions Daily for May 19th, read by Scott B. from Detroit, Michigan. AA Thoughts for the Day. Attitudes. We find that our old attitudes towards our instincts need to undergo drastic revision. Our desires for emotional security and wealth, for personal prestige and power, for romance, and for family satisfactions, all these have to be tempered and redirected. If we place instincts first, we have got the cart before the horse. We shall be pulled back into disillusionment. But when we are willing to place spiritual growth first, then and only then do we have a real chance. 12 Steps, 12 Traditions, page 114. Thought to consider. I have learned that my actions are far more important than my thoughts. Acronyms. Ego. Easing God out. Just for today. Open. From A Vision for You. But life among Alcoholics Anonymous is more than attending gatherings and visiting hospitals. Cleaning up old scrapes, helping to settle family differences, explaining the disinherited son to his irate parents, lending money and securing jobs for each other, when justified. These are everyday occurrences. No one is too discredited or has sunk too low to be welcomed cordially if he means business. Social distinctions, petty rivalries, and jealousies. These are laughed out of countenance. Being wrecked in the same vessel, being restored and united under one God, with hearts and minds attuned to the welfare of others. The things which matter so much to some people no longer signify much to them. How could they? Alcoholics Anonymous, page 161. Daily Reflections. Giving without strings. As he well knows that his own life has been made richer, as an extra dividend of giving to another without any demand for return. As Bill sees it, page 69. The concept of giving without strings was hard to understand when I first came into the program. I was suspicious when others wanted to help me. I thought, what do they want in return? But I soon learned the joy of helping another alcoholic, and I understood why they were there for me in the beginning. My attitudes changed, and I wanted to help others. Sometimes I became anxious as I wanted them to know the joys of sobriety, that life can be beautiful. When my life is full of a loving God of my understanding, and I give that love to my fellow alcoholic, I feel a special richness that is hard to explain. As Bill sees it, give thanks. Though I still find it difficult to accept today's pain and anxiety with any great degree of serenity, as those more advanced in the spiritual life seem to be able to do, I can give thanks for present pain nevertheless. I find the willingness to do this by contemplating the lessons learned from past sufferings, lessons which have led to the blessings I now enjoy. I can remember how the agonies of alcoholism, the pain of rebellion, and thwarted pride have often led me to God's grace, and so to a new freedom. Grapevine, March 1962. Big Book quote. But my friend sat before me, and he made the point-blank declaration that God had done for him what he could not do for himself. His human will had failed. Doctors had pronounced him incurable. Society was about to lock him up. Like myself, he admitted complete defeat. Then he had, in effect, been raised from the dead, suddenly taken from the scrap heap to a level of life better than the best he had ever known. Alcoholics Anonymous, Bill's Story, page 11. 24 hours a day. AA Thought for the Day. Fellowship is a big part of staying sober. The doctors call it group therapy. We never go to an AA meeting without taking something out of it. Sometimes we don't feel like going to a meeting, and we think of an excuse for not going. But we usually end up by going anyway, and we always get some lift out of every meeting. Meetings are a part of keeping sober. And we get more out of a meeting if we try to contribute something to it. Am I contributing my share at meetings? Meditation for the day. He brought me up out of a horrible pit, out of a miry clay, and set my feet upon a rock and established my goings. The first part, He brought me up out of a horrible pit means that by turning to God and putting my problems in His hands, I'm able to overcome my sins and temptations. He set my feet upon a rock means that when I trust God in all things, I have true security. He establishes my goings means that if I honestly try to live the way God wants me to live, I will have God's guidance in my daily living. Prayer for the day. I pray that my feet may be set upon a rock. I pray that I may rely on God to guide my comings and goings. Hazelden Foundation, P.O. Box 176, Center City, Minnesota, 55012. My name is Scott, and I'm an alcoholic.
We hope you enjoyed today's readings. You can also receive Transitions Daily via email and discuss today's readings in our secret Facebook group. So for more information, go to dailyaaemails.com today.
Other than the 24 hours a day reading, unless otherwise specified, all quotes copyright Alcoholics Anonymous World Services, Inc., 1952, 1957, 1967, 1973, 1975, 1976, 1980, 1981, 1984, 1985, 1988, 1990, or 2001.